So at this time, I'm going to turn the meeting over to our district governor, Doug Johnson, and he will share with us what's going on in the district, what his Rotary experience is, and how he can help us with our Rotary experience. And I'm really pleased to have you with us. It's unfortunate you can't travel here, but we get it, and we're happy to have you any way we can. So, Doug, it's all yours.
Well, thank you, Maggie, and good morning, everyone. Yes, it would be nice to be there. I have visited your club twice over the last 2 years. So I enjoy it very much, and the culture there is amazing. It's interesting, and when you speak to different clubs and you do a little homework on them, and you try to know a little bit about them. Some clubs you speak to, it's like there's some things that the club is stale or stagnant, and you want to address to try and encourage them to move forward. But in your case, like you're a club, it's really hitting it on all cylinders. You're really doing well. You're growing, you're doing projects, you're contributing heavily to the foundation. I mean, on and on and on. So this morning, I'll share a little bit of the canned district governor message that we all prepare. But keep in mind, I really do appreciate what you're doing. And some of the things I'm going to share, you're already on top of. So congratulations. I do hope to get up there in the spring. The guidance from Rotary International to us district governors and to actually all Rotary International staff is to try not to travel during calendar 2020. There are a few clubs that have started doing some in-person meetings. I went over to a Sonoma Sunrise meeting last week. It was impromptu. They had their first meeting. They wanted to meet outside, and they did, and I went over there, so I'm not adverse to it. But I'm kind of thinking that I'll be doing a lot of virtual meetings through the fall, and then I'm hoping that come January, the spring, things open up, and I can circle back and join clubs for hands-on projects or socials, things like that. So Lord willing, I will still be up there in the spring. I'm going to start with an event called International Assembly. And Terry knows all about International Assembly. Most district governors will say it's one of their favorite experiences in the training and even the experience of being a district governor. And it was in January, so just 6+ months ago. And that is where every district governor-elect, that's what I was in January, every district governor-elect from the whole world comes together in one place for a week. So that was about 538 district governors from over 200 countries and territories. And it's an amazing week of getting to know Rotarians from all around the world, of breakout sessions, of socials, also some very large general sessions where the Rotary International staff is addressing you. So it's a great experience. Starts off Monday morning, and Mark Maloney, who's then the current RI President, first spoke, welcoming everybody, and shared a little bit. And then after that, Holger Knaack, the incoming RI President, speaks, and he shares the theme for the year. And that's where it was unveiled, Rotary Opens Opportunities. And I love the theme. I just thought it was, so many possibilities. You can go in so many directions with the word opportunity. And then after that, John Huco spoke. He's the Secretary General of Rotary, which in some cases you might say he's the most powerful person in Rotary because presidents come and go, but the Secretary General stays there and really runs the admin of the whole thing. And I noticed a trend as they were speaking that they were using similar words. There was a theme, and actually I asked some people afterwards, they said it was intentional. There was a theme I was getting. And so being the great student that I am, I took copious notes on the back of a business card. That's about as far as I got in school. And here are the words that I was hearing: action, adapt, relevant, nimble, evolve, change, innovative, embrace change, modernizing, keep current, inventive, and flexible. Now this is 2 months pre-COVID. Now, so first off, I want to say that the Arcata Sunrise already embraces a lot of what I just said. And that's why you're growing, and that's why good things are happening. That's not true for every club. I mean, every club is different, but you guys really already embrace a lot of those words. You know, but I'm sitting here thinking, COVID comes along and knocks everything off track. And so it started, you know, it started me asking, what's Rotary and what is essential to be Rotary? And if you take it away, it's no longer Rotary. Because for some people, you know, the weekly club meeting and having lunch together, that fellowship is essentially Rotary. That's what it means to them. And when you take away that ability to gather together, you know, some clubs will feel like, wow, you know, Rotary's kind of gone for me right now. But when I thought about it, I came up with, I thought Maggie was going to have a slide on this today when I was looking at your notes. I came up with the 5 core values of Rotary. And they haven't changed. Rotary does have 5 core values. It's like we have a 4-way test and we have the avenues of service and the areas of focus. You know, we have 5 core values. And they are fellowship, integrity, diversity, service, and leadership. So the question becomes, how do we express those 5 core values in an environment where we cannot get out and be ourselves to the degree we would like to be? I think right now Rotary is more relevant and more needed than ever. You know, we are people that bring solutions to the world, much like Maggie had up our mission statement, you know, that we create lasting change, we unite, we do it together. So it's in our DNA to solve problems. And your club demographic is a little younger than some in our district, but I'm amazed at some of the Rotarians that probably at the beginning of March would swore they would never touch Zoom. They had no desire ever to learn anything about online meetings. And I'm talking clubs with you know, a lot of members, 70, 80, and how quickly they pivoted and they embraced it. They found a way in a short period of time to get online. People that probably didn't even use a computer a lot. You know, and at first, the first meetings, you always like see people like staring at the screen and laughing, and they could see somebody else that they knew on the screen, and they were amused by it. But they quickly embraced it. So they, you know, clubs have found a way to stay connected. And fellowship doesn't necessarily mean in person. We can fellowship a lot of different ways. And that's one thing I'm encouraging clubs. If you notice that there's somebody that you haven't seen on a Zoom meeting for a week or two, and you may ask, well, how would I know they were here? You can take screenshots and look at them later, so you will know who was here and who wasn't. Pick up the phone and call them, you know, because there are some people that may be having a little challenge with this transition, and there's nothing better than a phone call just to check in. How you doing? How's life going for you? You know, maybe they just want to talk to somebody. So if you have any members that you haven't seen in a bit, pick up the phone and call them. They'll really appreciate that. Growth. Rotary needs to grow. Our district was holding steady on membership through the 3rd quarter, and COVID hit, and we finished last year down 85 members as a district. So that's a sizable drop, and you know, it's not unforeseen, but we need to focus on how do we grow. And it's not necessarily growing for the sake of numbers. It's a matter of people that have like minds that want to serve the community and serve the world. So, you know, the thing we need to focus on is the why someone would want to join Rotary, hence like I asked Scott. And it's usually to get involved in the community, to make a difference, to get to know people. You know, the world, there's a niche of about 13% that join because they want to be involved in world projects. But we need to find the passion of people and, you know, ignite that and get them in with us because we're like-minded people moving, trying to do things. And it's frustrating. I think of a certain paradigm shift we have to have. The movie Apollo 13, I don't know if you remember it. That was the ill-fated Apollo mission to the moon. They never quite made it. In fact, we're lucky that it got back. But in the movie, they're up there, the capsule, and everything's going wrong. And they're losing oxygen, and nothing's working, and they're reporting, this isn't working, this isn't working. Finally, the guy, I think it was the commander in the module, he says, stop. Don't tell me what isn't working. Tell me what is working. You know, let's develop a new baseline. It's not what we can't do, it's what can we do. And that's where I'm going to take a quick second to spotlight a specific member in your club that I really appreciated last night, Vanessa. At the board meeting, you know, she like, I wish I had it recorded, because it was like a small bottle of energy that you could open that would ignite why someone would join Rotary. And she, you know, put it more in the, what can we do next? The Arcata Sunrise is a club that embraces what can we do next, that you encourage each other's ideas. No one squashes someone's idea and says you can't do that. You really embrace each other. What can we do next? A spirit of do it, and how do we do it? So it's not are we going to do it, we're going to do it, how are we going to do it? And so Vanessa, I said, I wish I had that recorded, because you said it so much better than me last night. But you know, that's the message I'm trying to take to clubs, and you already have it. So it makes it pretty easy. It's already there in your DNA. I do have a couple Darwin quotes, because how would we be disappointed if it didn't read a Darwin quote? So the first one, in the long history of humankind, those who learn to collaborate and improvise most effectively have prevailed. So collaborate and improvise. That's kind of the age we're in right now. We have to figure that one out. And then second one, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, not the most intelligent. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. And again, we are, sorry, I took a quick look at the chat. I had a meeting a little bit ago where it's like, I'm 10 minutes into it and someone's saying, we can't hear you. Anyway, you know, change. We're in a changing Rotary landscape. And in fact, one of the things that Rotary is looking at is new club models. Because we're built around, we have 47 clubs in this district, and all of them would fall into the traditional club model, where we gather for breakfast or lunch. We have a few for the evening. It's built around a meeting. We do some projects. In March, all 47 became E-clubs. We didn't have any E-clubs before March. Now we have 47 of them. But there are other models of clubs that are gaining traction around this country. There are clubs that are built on causes. We call them cause-based clubs. So let's say a group of people really were passionate about the environment. That was their passion. And it's not everything Rotary. They're just really passionate about the environment. They could form a Rotary club that was built around the environment. I've heard of some clubs that have been formed around learning the Korean language or playing bridge. So the topic doesn't matter. It's finding like-minded people that want to gather and do something and serve their community. That's one example. There are corporate-based clubs. If there's a big company in the area, maybe they can't get away for a breakfast or lunch, but they could meet in the company lunchroom for an hour and hold a Rotary meeting. So you could theoretically have 10 or 15 people at a big company. Maybe it's like a Kaiser hospital or something, and they use break time to meet there. You know, maybe it could be a club of young moms with kids that just can't get away, but they could say, hey, wait a minute, we could all meet for a mom-kid play date and call it a Rotary Club, because they still have the heart to serve the community. They still care. It's just their schedule does not allow them to take off and do Rotary meetings. So Rotary is really looking at the new club model and build it around anything you want. The beauty for a person like me is I kind of think that the rules and regulations and bylaws, recommendations to me, not everyone agrees with me on that, but Rotary right now is saying, like, the rules are out the window. If it makes sense, do it. You've got a lot of latitude. The playing field is wide open as long as you're operating from the heart that I want to do something that is going to serve my community, that is high ethical. You know, there's, like I said, we can't breach our core values. Those are our foundation, but there's a lot of room to run within that. And Rotary is trying to grow, because, you know, what's happening worldwide is Rotary worldwide actually went up last year in membership. The growth has been in Asia and Africa. Rotary has diminished in Europe, has in membership gone down in the United States, gone down in Australia. The traditional older Rotary clubs in especially the English-speaking countries have seen a loss of membership, but other countries are quickly, I mean, Korea, India, Uganda, Nigeria, I mean, they're really embracing Rotary and growing fast. So we have to, I think, go back to, why are we doing what we're doing? So that's one thing I'm telling clubs is this is a perfect time to do some club visiting. And I'm not sure at what level you are. There are a lot of tools on the Rotary website that you can do membership surveys, you can do community needs assessment, you can review your club vision statement. So on the what can we do when we're isolated a little bit, we can work on just talking about who we are, what we are, where do we want to be in a year, 5 years, 10 years? What's your vision for Arcata, the city of Arcata and the surrounding areas? And how do you see yourself playing into that vision? I think it's a great time for dialogue, and it might be holding a Zoom meeting that's just like have wine and food and talk. By nature, I work full time. I'm the vice president of sales at a company. And when this hit in March, I knew I had a problem because my salespeople couldn't go out and sell. And so one of the first things I did was I started a 4 o'clock happy hour, and I mailed them all food. And so we've been doing it 4 to 5 every week, but I sent them the food, so we're all eating the same thing. And even if it's a bag of chips, you mail everyone. To get together and say, we're in this together, we're family, we're gonna get through this together one way or the other. Let's see. District opportunities. The district, like any club, we have committees. We have a lot of committees. And we're always looking for people interested in getting engaged at the district level. And I certainly discourage committees of one. That's why I have some committees we're trying to add people to. So for example, we have the Public Image Committee. Cindy Denbo from Southwest Eureka is on that. Tom Boylan from the Windsor Club is on that, but they could certainly use more people if you had an interest in public image, helping the brand of Rotary in our district. Interact, I'm looking for some people on the Interact committee. It's a pretty simple one, but if you have a passion on high school students in Interact, that would be great. Ethics, we're gonna speak about ethics for a moment here because it's a big program that I'm building out. And let me back up to preface it, district conference. If you remember about the whole rules and suggestions thing, so I've moved our district conference from the traditional May to October. So the district conference, the next, Kathy is going to try and hold one, by the way, in October in conjunction with Foundation Celebration. It will happen either live or on Zoom. And I think that's October 25th, if I remember right, whatever that Saturday is. So the district conference following that will be October 8 and 9 of 2021 at the Doubletree Hotel in Rohnert Park. I chose Rohnert Park because we've done 4 or 5 in a row outside of our district, and I wanted something back in our district because I think it helps support district businesses, number one, but number two, it makes it easier for district Rotarians to go for a day, whereas when we were going to Reno or Tahoe or Sacramento, you're pretty much having to pay for a whole weekend, and if you go with a spouse, all of a sudden it's a $1,000 weekend, and it can get pricey. So I just thought that Rohnert Park Doubletree was the best place. We're going to open with a luncheon on Friday the 8th, and it's going to be open to the whole community. And it's going to be our first ever in this district, Rotary Ethics in Business Awards. And it came to me as I started thinking, like, what's the value add? If I'm talking to, just so you know, my kids are 37, 35, and 31, the age of my kids. So if you're talking to a 30-something, they want to know, like, why would I join a Rotary Club when I can just, like, do what I want the way I want? Or I can go online, and there are social groups you can join, sign up for a day, and you can go do a great project, and you're done, and you don't have to join anything. So part of the why that you would want to join Rotary, a couple of things. One is you get to be with a room full of people, and some of them with tremendous experience that you can have a conversation with and say, tell me about what it was like being the CEO of a company. I have these business challenges right now. Can we talk about this? Or you know, I'm running a nonprofit, you've done one for years, and can you talk to me about how do I handle this or that? So it's free business coaching if you want to take advantage of it. Rotarians are very generous with their time and would love to share. So I think leadership development's a great one. But secondly, you know, I look at, you know, ethics is in our DNA. It's in the four-way test. It's in the object of Rotary. It's in our core values. And we need to hold to being a high ethical organization. We need to recognize entities that are ethical. So down here, we have an entity called the North Bay Business Journal. I don't think they get coverage up there. I imagine you might have something similar. But every year they're running nominate your business as the best place to work. And they give out awards. Or nominate your CEO as the best CEO, and they give out awards. So we're going to open it up that people can nominate any business in their community as an ethical business. And it does not have to be a Rotarian's business. We collect it all, and then we contact them with further in-depth questions. And then we sort through that, and we give out awards for the Ethical Business Awards in our district at this Friday, October 8th event. And I'm targeting 250 people. We're going to bring in a really high-end speaker, whether it's the CEO of some corporation or whether it's an ethics professor from Stanford or Cal Berkeley. I mean, somebody that's really relevant, and hopefully brand to the business community that ethics is important to Rotary. Hopefully it'll give us some good coverage. Hopefully it might even give us some new members. This is a long way of going to say that the committee had their first meeting yesterday, 2 days ago, and good group already, but we're looking for more people that are interested in joining this ethics in business committee because it's a daunting task. If you want to know a little bit more about it, I had this whole idea, and then I was talking to somebody, and they said, hey, you know, I think Portland, Oregon Rotary does something similar to that. You might want to talk to them. And lo and behold, they've been doing it for 16 years. So if you go onto the Portland Rotary, or if you Google even Portland Ethics in Business Awards, either way, you'll end up finding it. They have their own website. It's really built out nice. It talks a lot about conceptually what I'm trying to do as well. So I wanted to highlight that because it's kind of an important thing to me. With that, you know, I'm going to give you a thought and then open it up to questions. It's important for me to express to you that you are the most important people in Rotary. Rotary is a membership up organization. It's not a top down organization. So the members are the most important. And I'm here, my role, my task is to serve and support you, the members of our district. So if there's anything I can ever do, if there's any questions you have, any comments you want to make, I usually answer my email or phone calls the same day. It might be the next day if it's the afternoon if I'm really slammed. But I believe in an open door policy, and so I'd love to hear from you on anything. So I'm always available. I'm in DACDB. You can find me there. My cell phone's there. My email's there. So please know that I'm here to support you. But with that, do we have any questions? Anything? Quiet group.
Not normally, but Doug, you've given us, I think, a lot to think about, and I do like that you're offering opportunities for our members to get involved at the district level. I think it is really important, and we do have members who have been very involved at the district level at different times, and so I really encourage people to, if you're at all curious about any of those groups or those committees, please reach out to Doug and learn more and get involved, because I think having input from our neck of the woods, from up here in the north, is important. And it's a good opportunity to meet other people with similar interests. So I think it's really a powerful thing to do. So appreciate that. Are there any questions or comments for Doug? Looks like not. I'm looking at the chats. Yes, and so appreciate it. We appreciate your time, Doug, and I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you all for being Rotarians and for doing the good work and remembering that the good work right now includes reaching out to other Rotarians, other people in our community, and just seeing how they're doing and seeing if you can help in any small way. Small things matter. They make a big difference at the right time to the right person. You can change. You can have a tremendous impact on someone's life and not even realize it just by being there for them. So I want to thank all of you for your service, and thank you, Doug, for serving us this year. We appreciate it. We appreciate your energy and your knowledge.